So this video is going to be slightly different than what you normally see on the channel. This time we're going to give you a bit of a review of our Lanzarote experience overall, but in particular the apartment that we've stayed in. And there's been sort of loads of things that have happened in the last week that have made things really great, but also a few things that have happened that have probably made the experience not as ideal as what you'd want. So we're going to go into a little bit more detail in a second, but we're going to give you our sort of overall view of what this apartment has been like. So I suppose the first thing to say is that the area that we're staying in, Puerto del Carmen, is certainly much more lively than where we've stayed before in Playa Blanca. Whilst you'll see a lot on our channel, us sort of going out, doing gigs and stuff like that, when we're on holiday, our vibe typically is very much chill, very much old town, very much do a whole lot of nothing, essentially. But we have sort of found ourselves in a position where we've ended up down the sort of main strip quite a bit. And whilst it's not usually our thing, we have very much enjoyed that. It just means that we probably haven't had as much chill time as what we'd want or expect to have on a holiday. But that's our own fault. I mean, we're absolutely crying into it if we're having too much fun, aren't we? The other main thing I'd say about the area as well is that it's really clean, which is great. Considering it's got quite a few pubs, it's got the classic sort of €1 beer everywhere. The whole area is just really, really clean. I haven't seen a single person cleaning anything on the streets, but there's no litter, there's no grime or whatever around. It's one of the cleanest areas we've been to in Spain, I'd say.
Yeah, I feel like we've had that. We're going to touch up on a lot of stuff. I think Jared's covering a lot of it, but we have had a bit of a shit show. We've had a fantastic time, don't get me wrong, but I think it's not a holiday we'll probably do again. I don't think we'll come to the area again. Definitely won't be at this apartment. We were going to do a big apartment tour to try and at least try and upsell the place, but no electricity for 2 days, no pool for 7 days, and no water for a day we had this week as well. It's a bit unacceptable, that really. It's not the cheapest apartment. It is what it is. Like, we've made the most of it and we've had a good time, but we came away to try self-catering and we've had to be out of the apartment because there's been no electric and there's been no water. And even we couldn't sit by the pool because it's basically a building site. We were sat outside the apartment and all chemicals were pouring and we were getting high off these chemicals they put in the pool. But that being said, it's done the job. It's just done the job very poorly. That's what I'd say. Yeah,
so we've stayed in places before where there's been a sort of emergency in the hotel which has affected electricity or affected the amenities that you're meant to get, which is fine, particularly when we stayed in Boa Vista in Cape Verde. The access to stuff is pretty crap there. So I think the power went off for a couple of hours in the hotel there a few years ago. And
Maldives
it was
as well.
Yeah, Maldives as well.
They told us about it and they were like, "Are you sure you want to go?" And we were like, yeah, that's fine. We accept this. And it happened and we were fine.
It happens in an emergency situation, but these were planned works here. So the pool being completely building site looking was planned work, and there's notices on the sort of reception area. And the electricity works has been planned maintenance works as well. And you go, well, that's just, they have to do it sometime, right? Well, yeah, they do, but tell us when we've booked it or tell us before we've arrived so they can either arrange, a new price, or they can arrange a relocation if it's massively going to affect us. I mean, we're sort of fortunate, really. We don't have any sort of medical conditions that we need stuff plugged in or we need anything like that. But, if someone added a bloody sleep apnea machine or something like that who's staying overnight and they need to plug that in overnight and the power goes off, well, that's genuinely a life-threatening situation for someone like that. So I find it pretty disappointing, I suppose, is the word I'll use, that they've not told us about it pre-coming here.
One thing to mention is we have been on the phone with booking.com all week because the property messaged us and we're like, the electricity won't affect your stay. 2 days out of electricity affects our stay. and then the water going off and the pool. So they said they're going to compensate us, but they've not actually confirmed how much, and they're just not replying to booking.com. So they're messaging us, but not going through actual booking.com. So we're like, this is a bit weird. Booking.com have given us a little bit of a refund, but it's not enough. I think it's 12% of the booking, and I'm like, absolutely not. It's unacceptable. Like, we're expecting 50% minimum.
If by the time when I'm editing this video, if there's an update, I'll
Yeah.
insert it now.
So we do have the option to take some money, but we've said we're not going to accept that right now. We're going to wait. But this is just a gesture of goodwill from booking.com because of the drama we've had. So we'll wait until the end of the booking. We're going to go around and record the entire place as well in case they try and say we've trashed anything, because we're dead respectful at other people's apartments. Like we do Airbnb and booking.com all the time, especially for all the gigs and stuff. So we wouldn't want to jeopardise like our accounts that we've got built up. It was just out of spite, like, and we wouldn't do that anyway. We're not them type of people. But yeah, booking.com have tried and they are trying. It's just, you know, we're waiting until tomorrow, I suppose, when we check out. And we're going to chase it up directly with the people who we booked this from. I don't even know who it is, but we'll find out more details there. I think I'm going to touch up a bit on Playa Blanca versus Puerto del Carmen as well, because I feel like you don't... Usually when I book somewhere, I do loads of research and stuff, and we stayed in Playa Blanca last year. Bearing in mind we were in a hotel, it was a stunning hotel, so obviously it's going to be better in our eyes. But I'd done lots of research originally, and there was a reason I booked Playa Blanca, and it was like it's meant to be a lot quieter. It's just a more relaxed vibe. It's not as party central. And when we were going to, we were on the coach from from the airport to Playa Blanca last year. We drove past Puerto del Carmen, and we were like, this looks amazing. And it's not what I remember when I drove past, but I think we drove past the nicer bit of it. It is very much the way I describe it as the Las Americas of Lanzarote. There is a lot going on, and it's great. There looks like there's loads of good bars, and well, there is loads of good bars and that. For us, that's not a thing. We're happy to sit in a hotel for a hotel bar, have a nightly entertainment and be in bed by 11, believe it or not. That's what we like to do. Not having to go find bars and stuff like that. And I think like we're very immature sometimes, and we can't control ourselves. If we're having a good time, we're like, right, we're going to stay out. And when we're away, we don't want to do that, because there was a day we lost this holiday because we were just too hungover and thought it was on holiday. So I feel like that's kind of forced us out, and 100% that is our fault, by the way. We need to do better at that. But for us, Playa Blanca was the one. It was just a lot nicer. Puerto del Carmen has been clean, and it's been great, and it's served a purpose. And I think if you're self-catering, great. But if you want a more hotel relaxing vibe, Playa Blanca is the place to go. And I'd say it's a lot more family friendly as well, because it is just bars, pubs everywhere, and there is some places that are open till really late and stuff like that. So we probably haven't touched the service on it, but we wouldn't come back here.
So just to mix it back up again, we're going back to the apartment now. So we will put a sort of link in the description to where we're staying. It's called the San Fermin Apartments in Lanzarote. But don't be put off staying in these apartments just because we've had a bad time. So there are multiple different vendors who rent out different apartments in this spot. So if you see a spot that looks really good, it doesn't mean you're going to have the same experience as us, notwithstanding the sort of planned works that I mentioned before. But the apartment itself is actually really modern. It's quite nice.
The blocks are quite good as well. It's quiet here.
Yeah, it's quiet, it's safe. Couch could be comfier. It's probably my only feedback. The shower leaks, I mean, that's annoying, but again, it's not crime of the century having a crap shower, is it? So I think because we've I'd have to be really picky to be moaning about the couch and stuff like that.
The apartment blocks have been good though. It's been safe, and it's been quiet.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it has.
Considering we're like about a 2-minute walk from the actual strip.
Yeah.
Like Spoons is the bottom of our road.
Oh, I love Spoons. But yeah, no, in general, it's been fine, the apartment. So don't be put off renting a place here if you see it and you see a good deal. Just be
not
conscious.
This one.
Yeah, just not this exact one. Maybe not in this week in January if they're going to have planned works every year. But I suppose you could just drop them an email beforehand and say, have you got any planned works? We didn't know to do that. So maybe that's just a thing you could do.
The only other thing I think is the weather in January in Lanzarote. It's not been great. However, I am tanned. Like don't know, can you see? Yeah, I don't know if you can see. But I've got strap marks. It's not been horrendous. I think the week before we came, it was really bad weather. We have had little bits of rain. There was one day it was rained out, and thankfully that was the day that we were both really hungover. But it's been all right.
One of us was worse than the other.
Yeah, and it wasn't me, because I went on a solo adventure for lunch.
You know what? At this point, we haven't edited the videos. I haven't even watched the footage back from that one yet, and it's already making me cringe. So
we did stop vlogging until he got too drunk, and then I don't know what's happened.
If you're now watching this going, I've watched that video, it wasn't that bad, it's because I cut it all out.
But no, the weather's been okay. It's better than home. Like, a lot better than home.
Yeah, no shit.
You know, you can see the sun out there and stuff. It's been great. It's just not sunbathing weather. Like, you probably get the warmest bit between like 11 and 1, and then a cloud comes out, and then 3, 4 o'clock, the cloud clears, and then, you know, you're out for the night and it gets fucking freezing, and then we have 2 jackets on each.
It's one of them where when you see the sun at this time of year, you have to take massive advantage of it. So you know that if you get half an hour of sun, go and sit in it, because you might not get sun so much for the rest of the day. So that's how we've sort of played it really since we've been here.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've not done a lot of sunbathing, but it's what it is. Like, we've caught the sun a little bit, and you know, can't complain considering we went away and it was probably like -2 degrees. So
yeah,
treading going back.
Yeah.
Quick tip: if you're going to Puerto del Carmen, by the way, and you don't want to be hounded to go into places, walk across the side of the road that is close to the sea, because no one's really there trying to get you into the restaurant. Like, there's this one guy who works outside the Bollywood Indian place who keeps on asking us to go in every night, and we all past him and I feel awful because I don't want to go, and we've already done one Indian and we're not going. So we always walk on the opposite side of the road now, just to get a bit of peace on our walk and make a decision for ourselves.
So as a final summary, I think I'd probably say that we'll definitely come back to Lanzarote at some point, probably just not this area. I feel like we've just been massively unlucky with the apartment and some of the issues that we've described. So I'm not gonna sort of hold it too much to account in that sense, because I think that's just bad timing. But overall, I think we've had a great time. What do you think?
It's been good. I've had fun. It was what we needed. I'd be upset if this was our only holiday this year.
Yeah, we're lucky. We've got a few, haven't we, lined up?
So I'm not worried. Like, this, it served a purpose. We just wanted to get away for January, and that's what we've done. And yeah, we have had issues. We have made major issues, but you know, it is what it is. And a holiday is what you make it. And we've made the most out of it considering the shit show. Usually I'd be really, really annoyed about something like this, but everything's been out of my control. So yeah, we've just drank a lot of sangria and beer instead.
We have. So the other thing to say is that this is the first time we've vlogged a holiday, and we do plan on doing it again for the rest of the year, unless everyone in the comments tells us that we're terrible at it and they don't want us to do it anymore.
And then in that case, they can...
In which case, we'll either probably do it anyway, or we'll just not do it. I don't know. But let us know what you think in the comments. We hope you've enjoyed the series of Lanzarote 2026, and we will see you very, very soon. And just like that, we are back home from Lanzarote, and we've got a few updates for you, but Robin, take it away.
I'll talk about the shit show with the apartments that happened. So basically, throughout the week, they weren't really contacting, like Booking.com were trying to contact the host, and the host just didn't respond to Booking.com. And they kept on saying to us, we'll compensate you afterwards and all of that. They did not compensate us. They were trying to pull off that Booking.com's goodwill gesture was what they thought was a fine amount to refund us. And it was just bullshit. It was just, like, we had evidence of messages going, we were 2 days without electricity, we were half a day without water. There was just so much wrong with the place. No pool, but it was all pre-planned work, so they should have told us, and they broke a ton of consumer rights laws and stuff like that. So give them a few days, and we put a complaint in with the credit card we booked it with, and within 24 hours they'd resolved it, and we got a full refund on it, which was really good.
We weren't expecting a full refund, to be fair. We sort of said we'd sort of deal on around 50%, because it didn't completely destroy the trip.
It wasn't every day, was it?
No, it was just more the inconvenience of it all, really, and we just wanted some sort of compensation on it. But yeah, the credit card were like, you've ordered a thing, you've not got that thing, here's your money
We
back.
had like evidence of everything and like the messages.
Yeah, they
with
asked
the
like
host.
photos and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which we'd
and
send
the
across.
messages with the host were enough. They completely omitted to everything on the messages. It was just a nightmare because this should have been resolved with them and Booking.com. But because they weren't replying to Booking.com, they were just like, there's a £100 goodwill gesture. That's it. And we were like, no, it doesn't work like that. So that's the only thing. But we got our money back, so we can't complain, plus an extra £100 on top of it. So yeah, it worked out quite well in the end, all things considered. It was just a bit of a shit show. You don't want to deal with that. They should have told us beforehand, and we would have probably booked somewhere else. And I'm assuming that's why they didn't tell us, knowing that we would have booked somewhere else. Yeah. The actual apartment block was nice. It was just.
It was. It had some really good fits.
Yeah, it's tainted for us now. That's the only thing. So.
I think I mentioned before. I'll put in a link in the description to where we stayed. So, like I said, don't just go off our bad experience to not book this place, because there's loads of different companies that rent out these apartments. So just maybe ask the question around if they got any planned works. I wouldn't use
the same like person we booked it with though.
Who did we book it with?
It was just on Booking.com, but we booked I don't know, the apartment through there. And if you show them what it is, I wouldn't do it just because it was hard work. Like them point blank refusing to give a refund.
Yeah, they were.
They were being really difficult, and it was just. Yeah, we weren't happy with their response. It was Booking.com that like they were trying, but you know, if they just ignore each other, like if the host just ignores Booking.com, then there's nothing you can do. So yeah, just book on a credit card, I think is
that is the lesson.
Moral of the story. Yeah. Book on a credit card and you'll get your money back if it's really bad. So yeah, so we can't complain really.
No, we can't, but we will. That is it for this one. I don't know what's coming next. I always sort of think I know what's coming next, and then something changes. So just keep an eye out.
We're going to Orlando.
I didn't mean like what's the next holiday. I mean what's the next video.
Oh yeah, we don't know what the next video is.
No, but we will be going to Orlando as well. So if anyone's liked watching the travel stuff, tell us now, because we might vlog Orlando and Vegas. We are doing it.
We are doing it. I don't know why he's asking this.
Yeah, it's fine.
More of us telling you right now.
It's fine. Right. Bye-bye, everyone.